Let's head down to the dam, and while I head down there, we might lose a little bit of signal as we hit that dip, but let's go across to Taylor, who's still got that beautiful big male lion in the grass.
Well, he is definitely in the grass, and we still really haven't had a view of him, but I'm trying to be as patient as I can because I really want to have a look at this beautiful boy. Now, he's got some serious history in this area. He's been around for obviously a number of different years. Not different, number. I need to go to bed. David's laughing at me. He's going, nodding, going, yep, we need sleep. Can't even get the words out now. But yes, we're still just sitting with him, and I'm not sure what he's going to do. Well, we just have to wait. The other male has moved off, though, or he's either sat down in the grass. This grass is so tall. It doesn't look like there's been any wildebeest or zebra or even buffalo and elephants coming through grazing this grass. Nice and short. It's exceptionally tall. I reckon if I were to walk through here, it would probably take me just up to under my chest, just to give you an idea of how tall that grass is. You even saw with that younger male, he was standing on his back toes, trying to look over the top of the grass and not, well, be spotted by Scar. But I really would like to know what it is that he's eating. That would be that would really make my day if I could figure out what he's eating. And lots of people have been coming past as well, and I've told them that he is sitting in here, but it's difficult, and we're lucky. Of course, we can zoom in. He's not very close to the road. He's probably about 60, 70 meters away from us. So not, well, maybe a little bit less than that, maybe 50 to 60 meters. So it's not a huge distance, but of course it does make viewing quite difficult. And even if we were able to off-road here, we wouldn't be able to see any different, I can promise you that. And we've seen it many times in the sands where we try to get around and try to view leopards in long grass, and it's virtually impossible. So that is still the same. So I just want to quickly look. I think I've seen something else. No, it's a sign. Now, Ekron, you're wondering if there's any cases of mange in the Mara. I haven't actually seen anything. The lions look exceptionally healthy. It's really amazing. Listen, if you can hear that noise, it's a tractor type thing coming our way. It looks like an octopus. It's squirting out much black ink. Not black ink, black smoke, but it looks like an octopus. So it's going to come past us. It's going to be quite loud, so I do apologize for that. We're on quite a busy road going into one of the main lodges. So I think everybody's getting busy with their day. So yeah, I haven't actually noticed mange, which is really nice to see. Not even with the gazelle, the antelope, not with the zebra. I haven't seen anything with the jackals. We know that in the Sabi sand there's a couple of jackals that have got mange, particularly that one down in the, what corner is it? The northern corner of the Chitwa airstrip. So the animals are looking good here, but there's an abundance of food, even though it seems to be quite dry. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk louder than the sound that this car is making. Should we test it? Should we see? Am I louder than a tractor? Or, yes, it is a tractor with a trailer. I don't know. It's coming closer. There's many cars passing us now. I think it's quite funny. He's slowing down though. I don't know if I'm going to be louder than this tractor. Apparently Byron's got gremlins. I don't know. This is loud. I think even the tractor could put the wildebeest to shame. Oh my goodness. Listen to how loud it is. Can you hear me over the sound of the tractor? Bye-bye, tractor. Off it goes. You should have seen loads and loads of people getting ready for work. Alice, you're going to have to repeat your question for me, please, because unfortunately I could not hear you over the sound of the tractor.
Can you see?
Roshni, you said you thought that it was a lion mowing the grass. That would have been a very funny sight. Could you imagine? Now, I know there's a lot of creativity amongst all the viewers, so perhaps you can help us out here. Who wants to do the challenge of creating a picture of Scar walking on his hind legs through the golden grass, pushing a lawnmower? It could be a sit-on riding lawnmower too, that's acceptable. I think we need to have a challenge. So all of you that are on the artistic side of things. Here we go. Get your pen, get your paper out. Let's have a look. And remember to hashtag Safari Live, of course, so we can see it all a little bit later. Now, for those of you who have never seen Scar before, like me, you might have to just dig up some pictures so you can get an idea of what he looks like, and make sure you get that scar and, of course, his beautiful mane. It seems as though Byron has managed to make it through the dip unscathed. Let's go and see if those Franklins have revealed a spotted cat, or were they just playing tricks on Byron.
Oh, look, there's a little steenbok, everyone, straight ahead. No, we still haven't had any luck with our leopard, but luckily this beautiful male steenbok. That's a lovely view of it. Very peaceful, and nice to see these little antelope, because often they're quite skittish and they tend to run away very quickly. Just trying to listen to the radio at the same time, but I can't, unfortunately, I can't copy anyone. Let's try get another view of that steenbok. Jen, you say you love the camouflage of these little antelope, and it is amazing. Hold on a second. Just try to get a nice view through here. Hopefully it doesn't move away. But yeah, look at that. Oh, this one's nice and relaxed. Now, usually they tend to run off quite quickly. But when they lie down in the long grass, and we saw this the other day, actually these steenbok, they lie down, they keep their heads low, and they just about disappear in the long grass. That's a lovely view. Look at that. Those little horns. Only the males have horns in the species. Females don't. But that still looks like a youngish male. Those horns get a little bit longer for the older males. And you say, where's the leopard when the steenbok needs it? Or you mean, where's the leopard when the leopard needs the steenbok? I doubt the steenbok needs the leopard, that's for sure. Now, leopards will hunt these small antelope, but these little antelope are very, very fast and agile and very alert. So they don't often get caught by leopards. I've seen leopards with steenbok before, but it's not that often. Not like impala or some of the other antelope around here. It's a little bit windy again today. I can feel the wind is starting to pick up. Let's see. These little steenbok, it's amazing. They feed on little sedges and little bushes and that. So even though it looks like they are feeding on grass, they're actually browsing, technically. Browsing little leaves, little bushes that they walk past. Very cute little antelope. Catherine, you say you love their big eyes. Yeah, big eyes and big ears, I suppose. Oof, this dust now that's been blown through here. But yeah, they do have beautiful big eyes. Excuse me a second. Andrew, do you copy, Andrew? Andrew, would it be possible for me to make my way into that area? Yeah, affirm. Okay, copy. I'll confirm. I just need to go east from the Chitwa entrance, and then that other little road that heads south. Take that little link. Copy. Thanks. I'll try to get there. Thank you. All right, so it sounds like we might have another view of this leopard. Sounds like someone followed. Let's quickly go across to Taylor and we'll see if we can get a view of that leopard.
The leopard? No, we're not going to show you a leopard. I'm going to show you Scar. I just have to try and turn around. He's actually got up now and he's coming straight towards us. Come on, car. Oh, he's so beautiful. Quickly, go, car, go. That is an unbelievable looking lion. He's got a bit of a limp though. And I can hear the other males calling in the distance down below us. Now, I've heard a couple of stories from a variety of guides in the area. The other day, apparently, this young male that we saw, I suspect that it's the same male, was trying to kill some cubs that a lioness had. They were quite very, very young cubs. And they don't know if that young male was successful or not, but it would make sense why there is so much vocalizing going on at the moment. Obviously, they don't want to tolerate this. The musketeers, they're still in the area. Sure, look at that. He's beautiful, this cat. Wow. That is a truly magnificent lion. Now, I don't know why he's got a limp. I heard that he broke his leg a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Was it last year? I wonder if it's still not because of that. Of course, I've never seen this lion before. This is the first time I'm actually having a decent view of him. But now we need to try and get around the cars so that we can also have a view again. I'm going to try and do some maneuvering here. And we've been so patient by waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for this lion to get up. I don't know, he's walking down the road now. I think he's going back to where the roars were coming from. I think that's exactly what's happening. So that must be it. So that limp must be from when he broke his leg, from what I understand. I'm not exactly sure what happened. But he's looking in fantastic condition. He definitely doesn't look underweight. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to move forward. You can see there are loads of cars coming into the area now. Of course, when you hear that Scar is about, everybody flocks, and I don't blame them. I've also wanted to do exactly the same thing. Off he goes. I wonder which route he's going to take. We'll just have to sit and watch for now. There he stops again. Like I said, I went exploring down in the open plains below, and I couldn't find his brothers, all the rest of the coalition members. They're in there somewhere though. Maybe he's going to lead us straight towards them. That's, of course, would be the best plan. I really hope that is the case, because I'd love to sit and learn more about this iconic lion of Kenya. He is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm sure there's people that come here every single year purely to see this lion and no others. Now, he's old. I mean, he's not a young, fresh lion. He's not like a Birmingham. He must be about, what, 9 or 10 years old, somewhere around there. That's what he sort of looks like. So he's in the prime of his life. He won't get too much bigger than this. This is really it. But now the problem lies with all the younger males coming in, especially if you've got an injury. Now, Kelly, you're wondering if they would intervene to fix his leg. I'm not sure of what they do here. Obviously, in the Sabi sand, we don't intervene unless it's because of human interference. However, I did read a while ago that they came in and they did some sort of veterinary work on him. I'm not sure exactly for what procedure. That was a couple of years ago, I think in 2013 or so. So it seems as though they do help. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly what the protocol is here. If it's because of human interference, I would imagine that they would intervene and assist like we do in South Africa in the Sabi sand. If it's maybe natural causes, I would imagine that they would let nature take its course. It's very important that we don't intervene too much. But again, it's a different area. I'm not sure exactly of the protocol here. He's moving quite a way around. Let's see if he's going to follow up on those roars that we've been hearing. Okay, well, let's go ahead then. Try and jump in front of the cars. What we'll do is we'll have one more look at him and then we're going to move off. There are lots and lots of cars around here. I know everyone's excited to, of course, see him. Now, Joe, you're wondering how long do lions live for? Well, it depends on if it's a male or female. Females tend to live a little bit longer, normally around 14, 15 years old. They can even get older than that. I've seen a lion live to between 16 and 17 years old. Males, however, normally about 12 years old, sometimes even younger than that as well. Imagine it's a very tough life for them. They're constantly moving. They're constantly trying to defend territories from young upstarts that are coming into the area and trying to, take obviously the best spots where the best source of water is, where the best source of food will be, all these different types of things. And I think these four fellas have done well to sort of protect this area. But I just don't know which lioness was the lioness that unfortunately had the cubs that were being harassed by that younger male. Right, we'll try and get around him. Obviously, we want to give him a bit of space. I'm going to send you across to James, who's got a wildebeest herd in the meantime.
Lost signal, reconnecting to Alice. We might be live. Are we live? I think we're live. There are some wildebeest. Okay, we've come to another crossing here, a steep crossing. It's known as the Lookout Crossing, and this is where we were yesterday, trying to get some picture, but I'm afraid we failed. I wanted to do, well, we were the other star, so we're just going to drive along here. A lot of them still massing that side. Now they could easily come across. They could go behind us. In fact, there seems to be some form of activity over the side. Let's just drive a little bit faster. Another kind of, well, shall we say mad race? We've luckily ended up in the front by default. I think there might be a crossing here, which would be very exciting indeed. Now these crossings very different, of course, from the ones that we've had the other side or up at the northern parts of the Mara Triangle, simply because the banks are very different. I'm just going to follow this chap. He seems to know what he's doing and he's driving relatively sensitively. I keep getting a little bit of a at the end of what I'm saying, Craig. It's very embarrassing. I can hear you now, Alice, vaguely. Alice is trying to talk to me. Unfortunately, the communications are not very good. I suspect the communications repeater could easily be buried rather than actually on a tree somewhere. Okay. Now, we've got
Sorry about that, everybody. It seems as though the gremlins are really out of control today. We're going to actually leave this sighting now. There are lots and lots of cars here, and I want to make sure that they also get a chance to have a look at him. And I think we were lucky, and we had a quick view of them, so we're going to let them pass us, and we'll just have to just sit tight just for a moment. We're kind of pinned in. We've got a line in front of us, and we've got quite a few cars behind us, so we'll let them go past and then give them a bash. I just want to say to them that they can go past. There we go. Just signaling to the guys that they can carry on and that we'll try and turn around. So we'll let everybody go past us now. And then I shall try and turn around. My goodness. Right. Let's carry on. Let's see what else we can find. Okay, I'm also going to have to try and get into Serena at some point, so I don't want to go too far away from here. I need to actually make phone calls so I can get some fuel for the car, because Mila is a little bit on the thirsty side today, so we need to top her up. So we're actually just going to wait, because I think I've got good cell phone reception here. That's the other problem, is that there's not many spots out here on the reserve where we can, of course, use our mobile devices to communicate with people. We're not in contact with them via the radio. And there's a couple of birds of prey coming in. It's going to be quite difficult for you to see. Maybe if they head a little bit further away. We have got a roof on the car. But they're coming in, so I wonder if they've seen the scraps. Now, Scar didn't look particularly full, so maybe it was something, like I said, I think it was maybe a Thompson's gazelle, something really small that wouldn't have put much of a dent on such a small lion. But it's so difficult to show you, unfortunately, just with the roof. But they are flying around there. I don't know what they were. Maybe some vultures? They're quite high now. They're like just little black dots in the sky. Yes, hard to say. There's so many cool buzzards out here too. Right, let's carry on. Sure, it's very, very quiet out here now. There's not many animals around. I think maybe everything's, I don't actually know where everything's gone. Right, so we'll just have to keep driving until we find something. There isn't really much out here at the moment. I think with all the roaring and the commotion amongst the lions, it's petrified all the game about here, which I don't blame them. I also wouldn't want to be around an area if I knew that there were lions, especially if I was hearing them. Oh, there's lots of birds starting to just catch the thermals. This is actually the nicest day I think it's been since I've been in the Mara. Pretty much clear skies, a couple of wispy clouds in the air. There's marabou storks even catching thermals, quite a few vultures. I don't know where this road goes to, but let's take it. Come on, don't stall. I think I see some buffalo in the far distance. We'll see if we can get over there. Right, we're going to see what we can do out here and what else we can find. I'm going to send you back across to Byron and Sabi stand, who also seems to be battling gremlins.
Alright, well, this has been a nightmare, everyone. I do apologize. We don't have radio comms, we don't have a proper map of this area, and it's just difficult. It's very frustrating because we can't find where anyone is, and especially if they're in a block somewhere, it's almost impossible to find a leopard out here. So I just don't know what to say, to be honest. I see vehicle tracks going through here. Seb, let's just try, why not? I'm Just want to listen quickly to something. Okay, I can hear a vehicle. So I think we're in the right area. Coming through there. That's what yeah, and I can see a vehicle too. So we might still get a view of this leopard. I'm hoping. Just going to try to find a little gap to get through here and drive off road. Did you see them there, Seb? I'm sure I saw a vehicle moving through there. It's off to our right. Patsy, you asked when is it going to get green? Well, as soon as we have our first rains, our summer months, when we get our rain. Just watch out. So from about October, November, we should start getting rain. And then everything will start turning green again, Patty. So about December, everything starts looking really lush and green. Seb, sorry, just watch out, mind these branches, please. Oh, this is a terrible area. Very thick and a lot of branches and that around. But hopefully it's worth it. Let's see. Sammy Jane, thank you for asking. My eye is fine, thanks. From that bug that I got in my eye last night. It's fine. It's fine. And I'm so used to it already. It's not pleasant. I'm used to it. Sorry, Seb. What's it, Ariel? Is it okay? Thank you. Tricky to maneuver through these areas. But like this, especially when you don't have radio communication. But I think we found them, everyone. Look at that. I'd be very happy. Be very happy. I'm definitely. If we get a nice view of this leopard, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. And a cup of coffee, definitely. Do you have something stronger, Seb? Let's have a look through here. Hold on. Where is he? Where is he? I think everyone's looking the other direction. I think just on the other side there. So we should see him shortly, hopefully. Not easy to maneuver through here. Sure. Quite thick. Hold on. Are we very close now? Let's see. Well, you've definitely joined us for the full experience, everyone. See us trying to find this leopard. Hold on. Sorry, Seb. Oh, it's quite thick. I don't know where we're going to get a view from. I'm going to try and move around this side. Seb, just let me know if you get any view of a leopard. Oh, there's nice long grass too, so it might make it difficult for us to view him. Or her, I don't know if it's a male or female yet. Was it? Okay, let's have a look here, everyone. Sept is through the long grass just over here in front of us. Let's see if we can get him. I think zoom in a bit. Yeah, he's through there.
Oh, okay.
There he is. Oh, looks like a he, but look at that, everyone. We worked really hard to try get our leopard. We've managed to see a leopard, but hopefully it decides to move around a little bit. That was not easy. That was not easy at all. It was quite frustrating, to be honest. But it's paid off. We've got a leopard, and you can see the spots through the grass there. But don't worry, we'll sit here for quite some time. Maybe this leopard decides to move again. Seb, give me a second. Sorry, I'm just going to do this quickly. There we go, Seb. That should be a bit better for you. At the back there. There, just to the right a little bit, and center. There we go. There we go. You can see this leopard much better. That's awesome. Awesome. Sure, but you can see it right in the middle of a block. Very difficult. So I think the other guides did well with staying with him and following him through this area. Still quite windy. I'm just trying to see. I don't know if any of you can identify this leopard already. I don't think so. I can't see any spots, anything just yet. Let's just wait. We'll be patient, and I'm sure we'll get another view of this leopard. James Richard, you say you're very happy to see spots. Yeah, so am I. So am I. I must tell you, we passed a herd of elephant in trying to get here. So you know how much I love elephant, but just to try and get to see this leopard, I'll try for the elephant a little bit later, for sure. You see, I think with this wind too, a lot of these animals don't like the wind. You can see the grass blowing in the wind. Alright, well, we've got our leopard busy cleaning himself. I'm going to stick around and see if we can see who this is exactly. Why don't we head back to James, who's got a scavenger bird, which isn't very attractive, to be honest.
No, it isn't very attractive, I must agree with Baron, but that bird is very unattractive. Just opposite it, however, is a bird that's just flown off. Was it flown? It was a crane. The first, no, it's still there. There we are. Look at that beautiful crowned crane. It's my first one of the Mara. I know that they're not entirely uncommon here, but it's my first one here. Now we're sitting on the banks of the Mara River, and yet again we have a massing of wildebeesten. There they all are, massing away. I'm I'm not sure we're going to hang around for this one. As opposed to the 8 vehicles we had at the last crossing, there are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 odd. And so I think that when this actually begins, this place may very soon resemble a Top Gear show rather than a safari experience. And in fact, I think even old Jeremy Clarkson would struggle to get his vehicle into position faster than this group of very experienced guides is able to do. So we're parked away from the river, obviously, so that the wildebeest, in theory, don't get frightened by our presence. Alice, I'm just getting the odd sort of word from you, but nothing that makes any sense. And that, look, I know that we've had that problem before when you've been speaking normally to me, but it's even worse with the radio like it is. Alice doesn't think that's very funny, everybody, but she's so cross that we're going to go across to Byron. Go and ID the leopard. Now it's only 4 seconds, and off you go. Bye.
You can see that beautiful face of that leopard in the sun. And he's still cleaning himself quite a lot. Now I wonder why. Did he perhaps have a kill? Did he feed on something? I'm not sure. But as I said, now James, you say you think it's Thamba, and I think you're right. That young male leopard, the son of Thandi, dominant female in the area. But as I always say, I know it's always wonderful to see which leopard it is, but it's still a beautiful leopard and just wonderful to see. There we go, he's up. Oh, look at that, wow. Stretching the claws. Now leopards do that from time to time. They stretch and clean their claws. They'll grab tree trunks or branches like this. That is wonderful. Let's see, hopefully he comes this way. There we're going to get a nice view of him. Yeah, I think it is that young Thamba, to be honest. Yep, apparently a lot of you all agree. Where is he going now? He's going to make this difficult for us, isn't he? Well, luckily we've got a nice view of him, but it's very thick here. I won't be able to drive straight through there, that's for sure. Rochelle, you asked how are Thamba and Hosana related? Well, let's try to work this out. Female, the mother, Kruger, she is mother to Thandi, and Thandi's cub is Thamba. So Kruger was the grandmother of Thamba. But Kruger then gave birth to Hosana. So Hosana is her son. So it is, I suppose if we have to use human terminology, technically Hosana would be Thandi's sister. So Thamba, or Hosana is Thamba's uncle. Is that right? So I don't think something like that. We shouldn't think of it like that. They come from the same lineage, being Kruger as the female leopard and her genes, and they are all slightly related, part of that lineage. It's very difficult. We shouldn't try and give them this human terminology of aunts and uncles and cousins and It's not right, I don't think. If they're sisters or anything, then yes. But I'm trying to think, where is the road? Is there a road anywhere here? We Siberia's Djuma, you asked how long before he starts to form a dewlap. Now it'll be a few years. I started seeing leopards forming dewlaps at about 5-6 years old. You start seeing a bit of a dewlap forming. Obviously, the older they get, the bigger their dewlap gets, like Tingana. Hold on a second. I'm just going to try and squeeze through here somehow. Luckily for us, our little vehicles are a little bit easier to maneuver around. Well, for now, we'll see if I can squeeze out here somewhere. Let's just see if we can see him. Just trying to have a look. Can you see him anyway, Sept? He's right here. I see him now. Look at that. It's so well camouflaged, but we got a lovely view of it. Oh, that's nice. He's making it a bit difficult for us. But luckily we've got a great view of him. Look at that. He's such a beautiful young leopard. I do enjoy seeing this young male. Charles, you agree? You say is a handsome young male, a handsome boy? He definitely is. OD farming, you say he's got beautiful eyes. He does, he really does. I mean, all leopards, you know, I always joke around, but I don't think I've ever heard of someone say, oh, that's an ugly leopard. They're quite pretty, quite beautiful. But yes, each leopard is slightly different. But this young male is always great to see. I think, Seb, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to have a cup of coffee quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
But it's again, it's special. You know, we worked quite hard this morning to try and see this leopard, but it was worth it. Alison in the final control says she's sure I need a cup of coffee. We'll have our coffee break together, everyone. How's that? And celebrate our victory of viewing this leopard. It's a bit tricky when you're driving around, but I suppose it's like tracking and looking for animals. If someone finds something else, like one of the other guides did this morning, they found this leopard. If you don't have radio communication, then how are you going to find them? So it's a bit tricky this morning. Oh well, maybe we just had luck on our side this morning. Hey, Seb? And fortunately for us, we've also got a massive advantage in that even though it's quite thick here, Seb is great on camera, and he can get us the best views possible of these young leopards, or leopard in general. The other vehicles all moved out because they can barely see this leopard. Andy, you asked if Thamba is smelling my coffee. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Excuse me a second. Go ahead, go ahead. It's a bit difficult at the moment. Yeah, look, where I'm parked at the moment, we've got about a 1 out of 5 visual. I think for guests. Copy. If you stick around, you might move again. I'm not sure. Copy. Thanks very. Copy that. Thanks very much. Sorry, I'm just listening to the radio. Give me a second, everyone. I do apologize. I'm just trying to get obviously some other vehicles in here to try to see this leopard. So sorry, I'm just listening. But I think the other guys are explaining to the vehicles how to get here. There's a road close by, I think it's called Shinzele Road. Now Shinzele is actually the Shangaan word for honey badger. That's what Shinzele is. I know that because I love honey badgers. There we go, they found it quite easily. See, when they've got radio comms, it's a bit easier to... I'm just trying to point where this leopard is so they can kind of see, but it's so thick here. Sorry, Meg, you were saying who made the comment? What's more difficult, finding 100 birds or finding one leopard? Was it Natty? Maggie. Sorry, Maggie. Yeah, I don't know, Maggie. I think. Yeah, almost this one leopard this morning gave us a proper run around. But as I said, when we first came down into this area, I said we're not going to give up. There is a leopard here, so we just need to try to find him. But sometimes it is like looking for a needle in a haystack. We have been lucky though with our leopard sightings. Just trying to think, in the last week we had Shadow and Cub, we've had Osana, we've had Thamba, we've had Tandi, Tingana. It's 5 leopards in the last week, eh, Sept? Yeah, with you know, 5 leopards.
It's like that.
It's amazing, yeah, it definitely is. We sometimes forget about it. We almost take it for granted, but we've been so lucky with our leopard sightings. I hope all of you are having a great start to the week. And ours has been a good start so far with 100 birds, a leopard. It's been great. I'm going to sit here a little bit longer. Maybe this young male moves again for us. Let's go across to Taylor McCurdy in the Mara and see how her morning is going.
I was convinced, Byron, that I'd just seen Scar again. It was not. It was a warthog that's, well, sporting a similar hairstyle to Scar. Look at that fringe. Isn't that incredible? Now, all I could see was this dark black mane blowing in the wind. And I thought, oh, he's back. But he doesn't have a limp. He's healed quickly. It wasn't, though, of course. It was this warthog. It was so funny, though. I was convinced I'd seen it. And it's a huge pig, too. They are not small out here. I mean, like I said, the grass is long, not as long on this side of the road as it is on the other side. It's probably only about maybe just over knee height. But I mean, look at the size of this thing. That is incredible. That really, really made me chuckle. That was so funny. So there we go. We've got the Scar of warthogs as well. Beautiful hairstyle. I suppose maybe I'll need to just now whip out my mane, do a little... What do you think? No, but David, then I'm going to make a noise on the mic pack. No, I can't. Otherwise I totally would have done that. So... I wanted to say hello to Maurice in case... Maurice, in case you wondered if I've neglected him or forgotten about him. I haven't. It was just, I'm so sorry, Maurice. I better apologize to you now. But Scar was, well, very exciting, and I did forget about him for a little bit, but he's back. He's still around. We'll put him over here with the binoculars. Right, I'm going to send you back across to the Sabi Sand again. Byron has been very lucky this morning, as he said. He's done well with the birds. He's got a spotted cat. Let's go take a look.
Oh no, he's still sitting here. He hasn't moved again. Taylor moves off to a potential sighting. I'm not sure where she's heading to. But you can just see this. Leopard's been cleaning himself quite a lot. Licking, cleaning. I'm not sure. I wonder if Thandi came and brought him, or took him to a kill, came and fetched him and took him to a kill, and they fed on something recently. And I'm only thinking that I didn't have a good view of his belly. I actually didn't look, to be honest, when he got up and moved. Maybe we'll have a better view later. Maybe he stands up for us. Just by all the cleaning and that, I wonder if he didn't feed on something recently. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just speculating. Oh, word of the day. Hey, Seb? Speculating.
Big word, yes.
Big word for an early Tuesday morning. I think James will be very impressed. Now, Patty, leopards don't necessarily have predators that will actively hunt them. Within predators, the only threat really for them are other predators. But the reason for that is not, like I said, not necessarily actively hunting them for food. It's more of a competition. So because they are in competition with one another, lions and leopards and hyena, they may attack one another and then potentially kill each other. But the thing is, excuse me, I'm just seeing a bird flying over. I just want to see what it is. Oh, it looks like a vulture. Looks like a white-backed vulture. So Patty, I think what happens is for example, a leopard would possibly be in danger from a pride of lions if it bumped into a lion. But but unlikely that that they would actively hunt them for food. The leopard could run away, jump up into a tree. Hyenas, we've seen leopard and hyena interacting at kills before. They don't really mind each other, but if hyena outnumber a leopard, the leopard would run away again. Lions, when lions are younger, they're in threat, or they are faced with the threat of other lions. That competition will potentially cause cause them to fight and kill one another. So it's not a case of them actively hunting each other or other predators, but more from a competitive side, that they could get into a scrap and then maybe kill them. However, saying that, I think there were 2 leopard on, I'm just trying to think now, on Londolozi that I know of recently, 2 leopards that were killed by lions. Lions bumped into them, surprised them, or the leopards bumped into the lions, whichever way. And the lions attacked and killed the leopard. Didn't eat it, just killed it because it was a potential threat, it was another predator. So leopards have to be careful of lions. Stacy, you were asking if a leopard would catch something for fun. I've seen leopards hunting or playing with tortoises or terrapins. We saw these, not this youngster, but Hosanna and Shongile trying to catch terrapins. That was for food, but it's unusual food for them to feed on. I've seen them try to catch squirrels, and especially when they're young, squirrels, mongoose, and that's, I think, leans more to the fun side as opposed to food side. And the reason for that is there's very little food on there, but it's a learning experience for these leopards, especially the young leopards. I don't know of adults catching something for fun, and the reason for that is also the adults would want to conserve their energy. They'd prefer to hunt something and that is worthwhile. They won't want to just use up energy for fun and hunt something that they're not going to eat. But the youngsters, definitely, they'd play around, try to catch these little mongoose, fast mongoose or squirrels, but that is a learning curve for them, how to be agile, how to stalk a little prey like that is very, very alert. He's really cleaning himself this morning. He hasn't stopped since we've been with him. Seb, do you see that there's a road right here?
I do. And that's Shinzele Road.
That's apparently Shinzele Road now that we've...
Now we know.
Now we know.
And
we arrived from the completely other direction. We heard a vehicle, and I had an idea of which area I thought they were in. We listened, and so we used our guiding skills to get here, and luckily it worked. But we made it difficult for ourselves, that's for sure. Well, luckily we can laugh about it now because we've got a beautiful view of a leopard. Sure. Now, it's still quite breezy out here. And the leaves are rustling in the wind. There's a lovely apple leaf not far from us, and those leaves get quite dry, but they make quite a noise. Let's see if we can get it there. Sept, do you think? There it is, that green tree at the back there. That's an apple leaf. Now, apparently it gets the name apple leaf from when you break the leaves. If you crunch the leaves in your hand, it sounds like that sound you get when you bite into a crisp apple. I don't know if I agree with that. I've tried it once or twice. I don't know. I think you need to have a bit of an imagination for it, though. But yeah, this leopard is so well camouflaged in there. Sir Jake, I have no idea. You've asked what would happen if this young leopard came across those lion cubs. So, Sir Jake, I don't know, to be honest. My guess would be that this is still a very young leopard. Okay, so I think it would most likely pick up on the scent of the lions and decide to probably move away before it just goes into that area. These little cubs, the little lion cubs, are used to hiding very, very well. But I don't know how this young leopard would react. I have no idea. Would it kill it? I don't think so. Would it just investigate and maybe move out of that area? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Sir Jake. I don't think we really know the answer to that. I think it would potentially depend on the situation, on the leopard, on the lions. I think each situation would be different, to be honest. Anyway, let's go across to Taylor, who's apparently stopped cruising through the Mara for now. Let's see where she is and what she's got.
We've got some zebras that are rolling, rolling, rolling in the dust. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that little one go. I seem to have so much luck with catching zebras rolling around in the dust. They should change their name to Equus rollinodustus, don't you think? Not Equus birchli. I think we could have a new species here, perhaps. But like I always say, I've definitely noticed it with horses. You find the most dominant horse within a herd, and I'm just talking about domesticated horses, often they'll defecate and the rest will follow, or they'll roll in the dust and the rest will do exactly the same thing. And I've definitely seen a similarity with the zebra. But look at that, going all the way around. That's wonderful. That is how you're supposed to do it. Look at them all going back down again. And it is this nice sort of soft and loose soil here, so it's the perfect kind of dust to roll around in, to coat yourself nicely, and also having a bit of a scratch afterwards too. Oh, they look like they're having a grand old time. It's nice to see happy animals, even though there are so many predators at bay. I'd like to see how many zebras we can have rolling around at the same time. That would be quite nice. So you all enjoying being on the show? Well, there's a big yawn from one of them. They're very busy today. I'm trying to see my monitor. I can't see it anymore. It's also very dusty. Now, Very Mary, you said that it's playtime for the zebras. Well, as fun as what this sort of looks, it's actually very important that they do cover themselves in dust. So we talk about it quite often. We see birds doing it too. And we see zebra, we see wildebeest, we see a lot of different animals doing it out here. Elephants will throw dust on themselves. Buffalo will lay in mud. That's, of course, to keep them cool. But by covering yourself in dust, you end up suffocating or the parasites that are living on you. So it's a very important thing. So not only do you have the oxpeckers that come through and assist with removing ticks, but it's more the more fine parasites. So tick larvae, lice, anything like that will suffocate with all of that dust. Isn't that great? It's nice to see stripes going round and round like that. There's some more coming through now. I wonder if they're going to join in. Come on. I think we had 3 at one point rolling around at the same time. Maybe just before you came to us. Let's see if we can double that. I'm sure there will be a few zebras that will be keen on joining in. No? They might even just have a little rest here. And they've probably been stressed for most of the night trying to survive. You know, all the lions and hyenas moving through the area. And now that the sun is out, they can see very, very well. So I'm sure they'll be a lot more relaxed. And off they go. I don't know where they're going to go, but I'm sure they'll go somewhere, but all walking in a lovely straight line. Isn't that great? You were all taught well. But we're going to send you back across to Byron. I think he's still with his leopard, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if I heard correctly. Let's jump back in his car.
Look here, he has decided to get up and investigate an old buffalo carcass. There's an old buffalo carcass here, very old actually, but he's sniffing around there. Again, young, curious leopard, picking up new scents. Maybe the scent of another predator, investigating. This is wonderful. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to think if we move now. Wait, let's just wait and see. Okay. Seb, I'm going to move quickly. Now you see, again, everyone, I've said this before, but even if you've got a leopard sighting like this and it looks like you're not going to get a good view, just be patient and wait, because they will at some point leave and move around. Now look at that for a second. Now there have been 3 other vehicles that have moved through this area, but no one got to see him out within this beautiful light because they just weren't patient enough. Now, and I must be honest, I know guests come out on safari a lot and go to different areas. Don't be shy to ask your guide to sit and be patient and spend time in a sighting. It is, after all, your safari, and it will pay off. I really do think so. I mean, yeah, the guides do generally know or understand behavior, but oh, there he goes. Wait, up the termite mound. Yes. I thought so. He's gone right up the termite mound. Look at him take that little leap over there. Oh, look at this. This is the joy of following a young leopard. Playful, curious. Oh, isn't that amazing? That is a magnificent view of him. Right up on the termite mound. Quick movement. But now, remember everyone, this morning Sebastian and I were saying we're scanning the tops of termite mounds because we know leopards do tend to enjoy termite mounds. It gives them a vantage point and it's a bit more comfortable than a tree from time to time. Seb, give me a second. Let me try and move and get a slightly better view for you. And I'm thinking of the light, everyone. So the light is coming from this side, and I think just from here we might get a better view. He's put his head down a little bit, but I think we'll still get a nice view from here and better light and see his face. Hold up. Can you see them? Oh, hang on. some impala through the thicket straight ahead of us. I think that's possibly what he's seen. Not possibly, he's definitely seen them. Yeah. Sebastian's got some more impala through there. Now, I don't know if young Thamba has managed to make a kill for himself yet. If it's a case of him being curious more than anything else. I think, Seb, you know what? Let me try position over there quickly. And then we won't be in his way either. Alright, now Alice was saying you watched young Thamba catch a guinea fowl on World Bird Day. So now a guinea fowl, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe mongoose or something like that. There we go. Now I'm not in his way, so he can have a look at those impala. And we've got a lovely view of him now. That is beautiful. Rochelle, you say cue the Circle of Life song. That's beautiful. So as I was saying, yeah, I know he's probably killed a guinea fowl or two, and some maybe a francolin or maybe a mongoose or a squirrel. As a young leopard, they'll do that, and that's what they'll learn from. But I think something the size of an impala, maybe he's still a bit inexperienced, but he will still be curious. And you never know. I mean, how old is Thamba now? I'm trying to think. Is Thamba a year old? Okay, so apparently he's 14 months, yeah, so he's over a year. Yeah, Mrs. Zero, you say about 14 months, so just over a year old. Okay, well, we know the other young leopards in this area, young Hosana and Shongile, they were basically left on their own at this age. Fortunately for Thamba, I'm sure his mother will still come and take him to a kill. But 14 months, he'll definitely have a look at an impala and possibly try his luck. I think his mother will be very impressed if she returns into this area and he has a kill of his own. But you see, he's got a wonderful little spot up there now. He can basically hide behind that grass. And he can keep an eye on the impala and see if they move any closer. Now they're just moving through the thicket, but not in this direction. We can't really see them. They're moving, I wouldn't say away from us. They're just feeding slowly in that area that we saw them. They weren't too far, but Alan girl, you asked, am I not scared at all? No, not at all. Look at that pose that he's got there at the moment. That's lovely. So Alan girl, look, I'm very respectful of these animals. I'll always be respectful of the animals, the predators, the herbivores, everything. But I'm not scared in that. I'm not interfering with this leopard. I'm not trying to get too close that he feels uncomfortable. I can see he hasn't even looked at us really. So there's no reason for him to react aggressively towards us. Now this young leopard, even though he's young, could cause some serious damage if he did decide to jump in this vehicle, and he could seriously hurt us. But again, we need to remember, they are more afraid of us than we are of them. Oh, I think he's going to walk down here. Let's see. Wow, look at that. Look at that. He's stalking. Now, I'm going to give him a bit of space. I'm not going to drive right behind him. Look at that. He's definitely stalking these impala. That's amazing. Look at the head low, tail low, moving quite quickly, trying to sneak around. I'd like to see if we can just keep an eye on him. Now the wind is in his favor right now. Is it B, Scotty? B? Sorry, I didn't hear. Hold on a second. Sept.
Yeah.
B, Smithy, you say, is the wind in his favor? Definitely the wind is in his favor. Because it is windy, it would be difficult for the impala to pick up on his scent and the sound. Sorry. You know what, he's probably going to disappear from us. There he is, well spotted, Sept. Like I say, if we can just keep an eye on him from here. I don't want to drive too close to him, everyone, because I don't want to disturb him while he is potentially hunting. Again, we need to be sensitive, and he is learning, so there's no need for us to try drive too close and make too much noise. Fortunately, the road isn't far from us, so we might actually be able to get a view from the road. Can you still see him through there, Seb? He was there, he's just moved, yeah. But yeah, these windy conditions are ideal because the prey, the impala, there he is. He's still just through there. Sorry, Seb. There it is. Wouldn't this be incredible if we saw this young male hunt and kill an impala for the first time? Oh, well, I don't know if it's the first time, but I haven't heard of him being on an impala kill by himself. Now, I'm trying to scan just to see where these impala are. Oh, you know what? Some of them are walking towards him. This is going to be quite exciting. He's not that far from them. You know what, I think let's just be patient. Let's just sit here for a while. I'm not going to move. I don't want to disturb what is going on here. Even though we can't really see him. I've got a glimpse of him again. Well done, Seb. Seb still got him. And he's watching this impala. So even though the view isn't great for the moment, it's definitely worthwhile just sitting patiently and watching. Julian, you say Thamba's got 12 minutes left. Now, this is exciting. Those impala are walking. It looks like they must be about 20 or 30 meters in front of him. Now, all he needs is possibly a younger impala, one that's a little less experienced. But all of this, even if he isn't lucky, even if he's not successful with the hunt here, this is a great learning curve for this young leopard, teaching him how to stalk, how to get close. Looks like all the impala have moved past already. Seb, I think I'm going to change our position quickly. It looks like those impala have moved past already. They moved in that direction, so away from the leopard, but they didn't see him because there wasn't an alarm call. There was no alarm call. They didn't look in that direction, so I don't think they knew there was anything there, but they are obviously a bit cautious and nervous because of the wind. But again, you see how important it is, everyone, that even if we do see them stalking, I know a lot of people always ask, but are we sensitive with animals when we see them hunting? Just like that situation, we stayed far back, gave him his space, didn't interfere or interrupt him at all. And we need to bear that in mind all the time. I think guides in general need to always bear in mind. Can you see him? Just let me know if you get a view a bit forward for you. Oh, there is. There is. Well, he's come through already. There we go. Let's get him through there, Seb. Oh, these impala are so close to him. But they're moving through. All he needs to do is sneak up behind one of them. Now, a lot of you could hear the arrow-marked babblers, and there was it sounded like a grey-headed bushwhack giving an alarm call. I don't know, those arrow-marked babblers, I don't think they were actually alarm calling at him, because they weren't that close to him. They were close to us, but I don't think they were alarm calling at the leopard, to be honest. That was exciting. Yeah, let me go forward a bit. Ah, there he is. He's just walking away now. Well, luckily for us, we got to see. Oh, there's a warthog. Hang on, there's a warthog. Can you get it? There's Seb. There's a warthog in front of this leopard. That's the warthog, yeah. The warthog is over there, through there. Sorry, Seb, it's a bit thick here. I don't know if this leopard... I don't know if the leopard saw the warthog or if the warthog saw the leopard. I can't see where Thamba is now. You've just moved through the long grass there. And that warthog would most likely do some damage to Thamba, to the young male, if he did decide. I think that warthog's a bit too big for him. I think he's too inexperienced. This could be quite entertaining. Maybe the warthog chases the leopard. Let's see, it's almost like that warthog has seen the leopard already. I don't know. No, maybe not. Wow, this is really interesting behavior. I don't know where the leopard is. I think he's lying down in the long grass there somewhere. Henny, you are voting for Thamba. You say, make us proud. Don't know where he is. It's just such a little longer. Yeah, the warthog, I mean, even for an adult leopard, a warthog is a tough kill. So to expect a young male like this to kill a big warthog, I think is very, very unlikely. Seb, can I just show you something quickly? There's just a beautiful bird. If you look straight up there, there we go, just to the right. Look at that, everyone. If you can get a screenshot of that. I'm actually not sure. Looks like a goshawk, but possibly a juvenile. Seen a lot of banding. I wonder if it's not an African goshawk. I will double check when I get back. But I just thought, let's try get it on screen for you to have a look. But it does look like a juvenile, the plumage and that. And we'll double check that. Let's just see if we can get another glimpse of young Thamba. See where he's gone. A nice little bird of prey. See, there's always things happening around you. Can you see him? I wonder if I go around here maybe. Ah, there he is. Yeah. But like I said, this leopard, I think it's perhaps more of a learning curve for him than anything else, than actively trying to hunt. Look, I think if those impala walked into him, like into his direction, and then, or in his direction, then he definitely would have tried, I'm sure of it. That warthog, I think he took one look at that big boar and thought, not something he'd like to tackle just yet. Warthog are very powerful, very strong. James, you were saying you'd avoid an adult warthog if you were this young male leopard. And James, I agree with you completely. I'd avoid a warthog now. Especially one that size, had some serious tusks on it. Well, what a wonderful sighting. Our patience paid off. And again, you see, we're the only ones here. He's still watching the warthog, but you can see he's not interested in stalking. And the other thing is the warthog's seen the leopard, and the warthog's not running away. There is that warthog. Look at those tusks. That's a big, big warthog. That warthog doesn't seem too phased either. Charles, you say it's interesting how they keep their heads in the wind like that. I'm assuming you mean the leopard. Now, I think, I think what's happening is he's putting his head into the wind so he can potentially smell. See if he picks up the scent of anything. So it was wonderful to see this behavior from a young leopard. Quite different to that of an adult. But he's learning, he's exploring. So this was very special. This was great. Really paid off for us this morning, hey Seb? And we've had beautiful views of him now, and him running up onto that termite mound. As I was saying, it's a nice vantage point for them. It's comfortable, nice to see. Josh, you were saying a perfect ending. Very clever, Josh, with the big cat. I'm sure some of you have heard this before, but the only big cat that does purr is a cheetah. The lions and leopards do not purr. They roar or growl. But he's interested in that warthog. But the warthog is almost like it's taunting him. Anyway, I think we'll leave him. That warthog's running off now anyway. He's probably going to move further through the thicket. What a wonderful morning, and thanks again, James and Taylor, who joined us a bit this morning from the Mara. And we'll see you again for our afternoon safari, our sunset safari. Let's see, can we still see him? He's disappearing now. Thank you everyone for your questions and comments again as always. No, I think he's just disappeared through there. What a great sighting. Not bad. I think Seb and I are going to head back and try find some breakfast now. See if we can do that. But thank you again everyone. Megs, thank you from the final control. We'll see you this afternoon from myself and Sebastian. Goodbye everyone. We'll see you tomorrow or later.